in this particular video, we are going to be reviewing what FundedNext is about. We're also going to be looking at all the account types so that we can know the rules, the guidelines and everything that has to do with each account. I'm sure a lot of you must have been seeing different FundedNext account types, and you always have questions about what each account stands for, what are the rules that deals with each account, and all of that. For somebody who is wondering, what is FundedNext? So like I said, FundedNext is a prop firm, meaning that they give traders capital, trading capital, so that they can be empowered in their trading journey. A lot of people today would want to get into forex, but they are limited based on the low capital that they have. So with prop firms coming into the space, they actually give traders what we call trading power in return for a small subscription fee. So let's get into the different account types that we have under FundedNext. Now, the first one is called the Stellar two-step, which is the classic challenge. So the Stellar two-step is the traditional evaluation phase, meaning that you are going to go through two phases before you pass the evaluation. Okay, so in the first phase, you are required to make 8% profit on the account, and in the second phase, the target drops down to 5%, but the same rules still apply. So the rules are actually easy. Okay, so the first rule is that you must trade for a minimum of 5 days. Okay, so they want to know that you didn't get a beginner's luck, okay, and then you are now passing your challenge, right? They want to know that you have a strategy and you have a plan and you know what you're doing. So there is a minimum of 5 trading days that you have to follow before you can actually pass. So that is one of the requirements on the account. So we have the minimum 5 days requirements, and also we have the 8% profit target. Then we also have the daily drawdown limit, and the daily drawdown limit for the account is 5%. Okay, so the daily drawdown limit is 5%, but the maximum drawdown is 10%. Now, what I like about this account is that when you pass, you can get up to 95% performance reward. So that means that when you make profits on your funded account, they can pay you up to 95% of the profits that you make. And the best part is that even in your challenge phase, they are also going to pay you 15% of the profit you make during your challenge phase. So if you are a slow and steady kind of trader, the Stellar two-step might just be right for you. Another account that we have is known as the Stellar one-step. Let's be real, so many traders don't just like sticking around in a process for too long. Okay, so FundedNext understand this, and they actually provided another option. Stellar one step is for traders who still want to go through an evaluation, but they don't want to stay too long there. Okay, so if you are that kind of a trader, then the Stellar one step might just be for you. The features of the Stellar one step are slightly different from the Stellar two step. Okay, in the Stellar one step, okay, the similarity with the Stellar one step and the Stellar two step is that there is no time limit. You can take as long as you want to pass the Stellar one step. Okay, for the Stellar one step, you need to trade for a minimum of 2 separate days before you can pass the challenge. Now, the maximum drawdown is 6%, and the maximum daily limit is 3%. Okay, so it is slightly different from the Stellar two-step evaluation. Now, just like the Stellar two-step, you also get 15% profit from the challenge phase when you pass, and you also get up to 95% performance rewards. Okay, so the only difference is in the daily limits, the maximum drawdown, and also the minimum trading days. Okay, so that is basically the difference between both. We also have another account type. All right, we have the Stellar Lead. Now, the Stellar Lead looks a lot like the Stellar two-step. The only difference is that in the Stellar Lead, you are actually trading more conservatively. So it's for traders who have more risk awareness. For Stellar Leads, the daily drawdown is 4% and the overall drawdown is 8%. So it is slightly lower. So that is why it is meant for traders who are more conservative and they have more risk awareness. Because if you are trading on the Stellar Leads, okay, your daily loss limit has been reduced to 4%. Okay, so while on the Stellar two-step, if you hit 4%, you are still good. But on the Stellar Leads, if you hit 4%, that is it. You lose the account. The reward is also the same as the Stellar two-step. So you also get 95% performance rewards. The minimum trading days for the Stellar Late is 5. Okay, so you need to trade for at least 5 days on the Stellar Late as well. There is no time limit to pass the challenge, just like the Stellar two-step and the Stellar one-step. Lastly, we have the Stellar Instant. So the Stellar Instant is for people who don't even want to go through this challenge phase at all. So you can totally skip the challenge phase and go right into the funded phase. So you can start trading the funded phase right away. There is no evaluation, there is no waiting period. Your account is activated for you right away. The maximum loss limit on the instant challenge is 6%. Okay, but as your equity grows, that also means that the loss limit is going to grow as well. Okay, so when your equity is growing, the loss limit is also growing with it. But there is no daily loss limit. Okay, so even though there is an overall loss limit, there is actually no daily loss limit. So that is an advantage compared to the other account types that we have looked at. And of course, a lot of traders wonder whether there are any hidden rules with the Stellar Instant. Okay, so some of the rules that you might have had with other pro firms include maybe consistency rule, news trading, and holding trades over the weekend. So with FundedNext, you can trade news, you can hold your trades over the weekends, and there is no consistency rule. In the Stellar Instant, the performance reward is slightly lower than the other challenge types. Okay, so in the challenge phases, you get 95% performance rewards, but that drops in the Stellar Instant. However, you can increase yours to 80% performance rewards. On the Stellar Instant, you also get your withdrawals whenever you demand for it. So your withdrawal is not based on fixed time frames or fixed cycles. Also, they have a scale-up plan. So that means that you can grow your account when you perform properly. Okay, so you can scale up very easily and you can also grow your accounts. So the Stellar Instant is meant for experienced traders who understand how to manage risks properly and who are very confident of themselves. They know that they don't have to, go through the evaluation just to find that strategy or that plan. So if you're an experienced trader, you are very confident of yourself, you might consider the Stellar Instant Challenge. It is also meant for traders who are very experienced with, risk awareness and being conservative, because remember the overall limit is 6%, but it is actually adjustable. Like I said, as your equity is growing, your loss limit is growing also. Okay, so if you're an experienced trader, you know how to manage that kind of risk environment, then you can go for the Stellar Instant. All right, so that is all. You have it. These are the account types under FundedNext. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And also, if you have any contribution, you can drop in the comments. See you in my next video. Bye.